As the Israeli offensive in Gaza intensifies, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's steadfast refusal to entertain the prospect of a ceasefire with Hamas continues to draw criticism, both domestically and internationally, prolonging the deadly cycle of violence in the region. Despite mounting pressure from the international community to halt hostilities and pursue diplomatic avenues to end the conflict, Netanyahu remains resolute in his hardline stance, vowing to continue the military campaign until what he terms sustainable quiet is achieved.
We are committed to continuing the war until we achieve all of its goals, which means the elimination of Hamas, the release of all the hostages, and the promise that Gaza will no longer pose a threat to Israel. There is no pressure that can change that.
Critics argue that Netanyahu's obstinance risks further escalation of the conflict and exacerbation of the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza. Efforts by mediators to broker a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas have met with resistance, with Netanyahu dismissing calls for de-escalation as appeasement and insisting on a military solution to the crisis.
With regard to statements of Netanyahu, we do not pay attention to such statements because we know that they only come within the framework of self-gain and political gain in the face of its internal crises and with the political class there.
As the death toll rises and the humanitarian situation deteriorates, the urgency to finding a peaceful resolution to the conflict has never been more apparent. However, with Netanyahu's war cabinet showing no signs of relenting in its military offensive, the prospects for a ceasefire remain uncertain, leaving the people of Gaza bracing for more violence and uncertainty in the days ahead.
We are trying to achieve a temporary ceasefire, or you can call it a pause, you can call it whichever name you prefer, to secure the release of hostages. We worked on achieving a humanitarian pause back last year. We're successful in doing it. It didn't go as long as we wanted it to.